Hello everybody and welcome back! How are y'all doing today? We are coming with another surprise video. I am not able to make this fucking video that I wanted to make. Like, I've literally started, and I'm like, I'll come back to it when I go back to recording. And then shit just keeps happening. You know, I made the Neo video, and now, our dear friend, Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady, has dropped a new album, and we are here to review it. Marshall Mathers, you know him, Detroit rapper. He comes out with this new record, surprisingly. I am on my way home after a long day, and I get the notification to check out a new Eminem record. Alright, look at it, 20 songs, hour and 6 minutes. I'm like, I see an Ed Sheeran name on there. That's always a bad sign. But you also see Anderson .Paak, Q-Tip, some good names. So before we get into it, let's talk about what's recently come out. Obviously, 2017 brought us Revival, the worst Eminem project to date. And then he followed that up with Kamikaze, an album that got mixed reviews between not only Eminem fans, but I just think everybody in general. I liked the album. Did I think it was perfect? No, it was definitely not better than MMLP 2, but I'd say it was his best album since, I don't even know, probably the Eminem show, not including MMLP 2, so, it just is, the last few songs is where it just was terrible, like the last 3 or 4, but forget about that. We are here. I got some fucking notes here, and we're going to talk about it. So this album kicks off with the song Premonition, which I thought immediately, I was like, man, what are we going to get? Are we going to get angry old boomer M screaming about shit, or what are we going to get? And yeah, he talks about Kamikaze and Revival on there. One thing I like about this record is that it has a lot of good beats on it, and that's not really something that when I come out of an M album, I'm like, that was a great beat. Like, you know, that's kind of an afterthought. But one of the things I noticed listening to all these songs first time through is I was like, wow, that's a good beat, or wow, that instrumental's really nice. Like, there's a track later on called Never Love Again that's very Danny Brown-esque in terms of the instrumental. There was a rock instrumental in one of the tracks, I don't remember which one right now, so, but yeah, let's get into those. So we had Premonition to kick off. We had Uncommodating. I don't know who the dude on that feature was, but it was terrible. That feature was not good. And on this track, I thought he gave one of his funniest lines, and also one of the most cringeworthy lines. The line about waiting outside the Ariana Grande concert with the gun. I was like, yikes. But, that's what he does. That's what he goes for, is he gets those yikes. I did not care for that line. And then the Nintendo line I thought was funny. Blowing on my cartridge like an old Nintendo. That fucking made me laugh, just because that's the struggle of putting in Pokemon Ruby and it not starting up. So you had to take it out and fucking to get that shit to work. Fucking big rips, dude. Big fucking rips all the way around. There were so the theme of this album, I didn't even throw it out there. Music to get murdered by. Very dark theme on this one, as compared to Revival, where it was kind of messy, and then Kamikaze, where it was like, I'm taking shots. I mean, he takes shots on this record, but it's made to have this dark theme, like this I'm out to fucking kill you theme. So that come across in a lot of songs. The song You Gon' Learn. There was a couple Royce da 5'9" features on this album, and let me tell you right now, I have always thought of Royce da 5'9" as being one of the more underrated names in the scene. Detroit boy. He's actually been in the game for a while, and he has a lot of good features. He has a lot of good tracks, and I don't know. I just think he's underrated, and he had some good appearances on here. In the song Those Kind of Nights, man, Ed Sheeran. I'll just start off by saying right now, Ed Sheeran is one of the most untalented people in the music industry. Everything his name is on is always going to be absolute trash. He can't sing, he can't play guitar, he's not clever with his lyrics, his voice is terrible, he looks like an idiot. Ed Sheeran is just not talented. He has no appealing factors about him whatsoever. Every record he has put out up until this point has been fodder and garbage. So I mean, there's really no point listening to his music. His feature on this song is terrible. The only thing I liked about it was there was a line about bucket on my head, marshmallow. I thought that was hilarious because who doesn't love marshmallow? And there was a couple more songs on here. There was a juicy feature in the song Godzilla. He had those flows going back and forth. You know, there's a lot of those on this record. You know, if you were not a fan of Kamikaze, you're not going to be a fan of this record. And that's why I don't think this record is his best. That's why I don't think it's his worst. But there was stuff on here that, I don't know. The song Darkness was, in my opinion, one of the best songs on this album. The storytelling that he gives in this track about his father, and he sang so much like my father, I wish I knew him. I mean, the ending about with the news reports, as somebody is singing the Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, of course Simon and Garfunkel. I thought this song was constructed beautifully. A lot of good production on this record too. Well, I wouldn't say great, but it's just okay. A lot of okay production on here, but that song I felt like had great production. Another track that I really liked was Lock It Up with Anderson .Paak, one of the more talented names in the hip-hop R&B scene at the moment, and for some reason flying under a lot of people's radars. I saw a couple of tweets when I first saw that this album came out, and people legitimately said Anderson .Paak ? I don't know who that is. And I was like, how do you not know Anderson .Paak? Like, how do you at least not have heard of his name before? I don't know. Yeah, but either way, Anderson .Paak, extremely talented, has a great feature on this track. As Anderson .Paak, that's what he fucking does, man. The song No Regrets had a terrible feature. The dude that is featured on that song sounds like somebody that M would make fun of on Kamikaze. You know what I mean? Like the auto-tune, shitty kind of rapper. Like, that is literally what this man who is featured on this song sounds like. But here he is featured on this song, Eminem. Sorry I keep looking down, but I got a lot of notes here. Yeah, the song features Q-Tip. Of course, Q-Tip, A Tribe Called Quest. I mean, how do you not like Q-Tip? Great feature here. This track was alright. The Stepdad song with the intro, I thought the intro was very unnecessary. Feel like that had no place in it. The chorus was it was a nasty chorus, but it was great storytelling in the song. The same thing with Marsh. The chorus was terrible, but I thought his weird cadence that he had in that song was funny, and that made the song a little more listenable for me. Again, not one of the best ones on the album. And then talking about the interludes, the outro with Alfred Hitchcock, the intro, I thought it fit the mood of this album very well. I thought the Hitchcock interlude was great, but then right after you get to the Some Kind of Nights song where he talks about fucking people and going to the club, I was like, if you're gonna have that, Alfred Hitchcock saying, oh, prepare to get murdered, you put the song Darkness after, or put the song Stepdad after, without that fucking weird intro, or Little Engine. There's no reason to have an Ed Sheeran feature coming after an Alfred Hitchcock, interlude. Especially considering Alfred Hitchcock and Ed Sheeran are two completely different people. One is a rambling moron who couldn't make music to save his damn life, and the other one, wonderful movie producer, wonderful director, great man behind the camera. But we're not here to discuss movies, alright? If you want to talk about movies, you can eat shit, because we're here to talk about music. So getting back to it, the song Farewell I liked that. That song came out of nowhere to me. You know, the album was starting to get into that lull, ugh, this shit needs to end soon. And then it gave me Farewell with this funky, groovy beat. There was a great song. Even his singing on that track was tolerable, which is something that Eminem has always been known to be lacking in, and that is very prevalent on this record. Is a lot of singing where it's like on Kamikaze, that song Normal is the singing just could have made the song better if he had a feature singing the same thing. It's not like the lyrics are terrible, or the melody's terrible. It's just his voice isn't a sing-songy voice, and that goes all the way back to the 90s. Like, he's never been a fucking, you know, I don't know, fucking guy who's gonna go out there and holler his lungs out and make these great-ass fucking lyrics, or great-ass choruses. The ending, I thought was kind of an upsetting end to this record. I mean, it wasn't the end because there was an outro, which I thought was cool, the outro. The features were just bland, boring, unnecessary. I feel like you could have trimmed this song down and just kept Eminem's part to the song, because I thought the chorus was pretty cool. I thought his lines were pretty cool in it. There was a reference to the Honky Tonk Man, so automatically the song has some redeeming qualities. The Honky Tonk Man. Let's fucking go, alright? Good man, good man, good man. Yeah, like I said, the No Regrets song, the feature was horrible. There were some good flows. The beat on that was kind of stale. Never Love Again. Apart from that Danny Brown-esque instrumental I was talking about earlier, there were some pretty good lyrics in it. It was a listenable song. But one of the songs that I had really wrote a lot about was Leaving Heaven, because it was a nice, simple, emotional beat. But Skylar Grey, Lord, strike me down from where I sit, because Skylar Grey cannot sing. I'm sorry, and I know it's kind of hypocritical because I can't sing for shit. If you ask me to sing the notes she was hitting, I would not be able to do it. But here, that's why I'm here behind the screen. I'm not here producing music, alright? That's why I review the music. And my review of her chorus is that it sucks ass. Her voice is just not good at all. And I've heard her featured, I believe she was featured on those 2 songs on Kamikaze that were fucking awful. It was like Good Guy and Nice Guy. I think that was her. I don't know, I hate those songs so goddamn much I don't fucking listen to them. So that was terrible. And the lyrics were good. The story about him being poor, the frustration with his father, I thought that was pretty cool, even though there was a kind of funky flow in that song. And I don't know, man. Eminem 2020 starting off right. This is the first new record I have heard of this 2020. I mean, I had heard some songs, some singles dropped already. There was a new Igor song that came out. There was the new Ozzy song with Elton John, but this came as a shock. Especially because I was sitting here ready for the new Green Day album, ready for the new Tame Impala album. I'm sitting here ready for like 10 different albums, and this fucking shit flies out of nowhere. So, I don't know, guys. I still haven't decided up until this point what my grading scale is going to be for albums. The 5 stars thing has been done. The rating 1 to 10 has been done. So I'm just going to straight up rate everything from here on out in terms of songs and albums. Since I haven't done one yet, I'm going to rank them on a scale of 1 to 100, because there's no discrepancy when you fucking lay out 1 to 100. I mean, they just line, lay it out where you can. To where I thought Kamikaze was like an 80, 83 at a highest. This album was like a 70, 75. I'd say 70, 73 is probably what I'm going to give this on my final. So let me know what you guys thought of Songs to Be Murdered By, the new Marshall Mathers project. Thank you for watching. Give yourself a listen to this record. Form your own opinion. Whatever you do, do not listen to someone else's opinion before making your own. Make your own opinion, and then go look out on other people's opinions. That's just one thing I don't like seeing, is I like that opinion. Let me agree with it. That's a discussion for another day, though. So, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully, I'll be able to fucking finish the one video I've been trying to make. And, we'll see you next time.